Now you have learned the semantic elements available and their syntax. When you try to apply it practically, there are some common problems you might run into. So for example, where do we use header tag and when do we use H1 to H6 tags? So can you use semantic elements like header, footer, and nav multiple times in your web page? Or a more frequent question, do you use article, section, or div? So we will discuss these scenarios in detail so you can better equip to apply semantic elements in your web page. So header is simply an area to hold any introductory content about your page. It can contain headings, paragraphs, tables, images, logos, and even navigation. And H1 to H6 are headings we learned earlier on in our discussion. H1 is for the most important heading and H6 for the least important. So let's see an example of how to use the header and H1 to H6 tags in your web page. So in this example, in these blocks of code here, so the header can and frequently does contain headings H1 to H6. So this is the opening tag, this is the closing tags, and it contains multiple headings. So in the case of headings, they do not have to be used within a header. So it is important to note that headings are extremely helpful as a navigation tool for assistive technology users. While it is valid to skip header levels, it is not a good practice. So assistive technology often relies on the semantic of headings to understand your document's structure. Another example in these blocks of code here. Let's take a look at this in CodePen. So this is the same code from the presentation. So assistive technology uses heading markup H1 to H6 to identify headings in a document. So by using them to define your document's structure, a screen reader that parses your web page will in some manner indicate the heading level. So for example, raise its voice to indicate higher level headings or announce the heading levels with the text it reads. So they can also navigate to the headings quicker, making it easier for the user to navigate contents of the web page. So can you have more than one header, footer, and nav? So there is a common misconception that a web page can only have one header at the start, one footer at the end, and one main navigation section to maneuver the site. So multiple headers and footers. So header and footer elements are for the parent element, that they are use in. So if you have multiple sections or articles, then you can have one header and footer for each. So for the global header and footer, so header and footer elements can also be used site-wide at the top and bottom of the body of the page. So this type of header will typically contain logos, main heading, a search area, and site-wide navigation. And a footer will typically include authoring information, references, and other links, copyright information, and so on. So sometimes the header of a web page comes from a template file. So this template file is used throughout the site as a global header. So let's look at the site-wide or global header and footer used in Microsoft Virtual Academy homepage. So this is their header and this is their footer. So let's take a look at that at the actual web page. So here you will see the header at the topmost part of the page, and it includes some navigation, search bar, sign in, and also their logos. And at the footer part of this page, here you will also see their copyrights, trademarks, so terms of use. If you click any of this, of course, you will be redirected to another page. So this is the footer, and this one is the header of this web page. So for multiple navigation menus, you can definitely have more than one navigation menu in your web page, because there are so many different types of menus, calling the need for multiple nav tags. So using nav also helps assistive technologies. So with our example, as you can notice in the page, this page, in their footer, it includes multiple navigations as well. So you can definitely have more than one navigation menu in your web page. Okay, so screen readers now knows exactly where page navigation lies. So it can provide options for the users to either skip reading or its contents or to make it immediately available. So let's take a look at another example. So here is our global header. It will appear at the topmost part of the page, and the navigation. So if the user clicks any of this, they will be redirected to to the section on this page, and also the footer. So for the footer part, here, so the result of this block of code, so as you can notice, it includes multiple navigation as well. And